Oh yeah, we're going to talk about this again. Welcome everyone to my very, very controversial channel. Let's get into it. Calories do not matter. Now, most of you understand this concept because I've been talking about it for years, or women understand that the more that they lower, and men, but really women that lower their calories, all of a sudden their hair starts falling out. And there are some guys out there in the internet verse that do not understand this concept. Now, most people who are over 40 or 45 understand that this calories in and calories out concept doesn't work. And that's why you see people fasting and dry fasting and 48-hour fasting and eating one meal a day, so desperate to experience autophagy and to get shredded, but they don't. They get more tired. They start looking crepey. They develop dark circles under their eyes, chronic fatigue, and their hair falls out, and the ding-dong doesn't do its job anymore. Often people find themselves with their reproductive hormones tanking severely, like hemorrhaging, and becoming estrogen dominant. Dihydrotestosterone dominates. Men aromatize. Women become estrogen dominant. Women, your progesterone hits the floor, and now your body won't do what you want it to do at all. It's the young guys out there that hit my channel. They get triggered. They don't like when I really push this concept of hormones. Let's break it down. We've got insulin, estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, thyroid hormones, adrenal hormones, and pancreatic hormones. Yeah, we got hormones. The problem is that when those hormones tank due to too much stress on the body, it doesn't matter if you have one popcorn, you want to not lose weight. You're going to be tired. And you're going to be tired for a multitude of reasons. So let's break it down and make it very simple. When your blood sugar is running high, you need a hormone to grab that blood sugar, take it out of the blood, and put it somewhere, hopefully, to be used as energy. Often, people have so much cortisol in their system that their body's in a stress zone. Now their hormones begin to falter. Insulin becomes resistant. Blood sugar is skyrocketing. And you can go from high to very low to chronically high and have hyperglycemia or hypoglycemia or dysglycemia. If you don't address that blood sugar that's bouncing, I don't care if you eat paper. It seems as though people forget that we are just mammals. Food is meant for us to survive. What we end up doing is completely gutting our gut wall, our motility, our hormones through too much stress. And stress can come in the form of chemical, emotional, food, too much exercise, not connecting to nature. It can come in all different forms. When you lower your calories and your body's under stress, the body has no choice but to go into fight or flight mode, which is called gluconeogenesis if your glycogen storages are depleted and you're not in ketosis. Your thyroid is a master control center when it comes to a lot of stuff. Temperature regulation, fertility, weight gain, weight loss, hair growth, mood. It plays a role in anything that requires energy. So if you stretch your body to the umpteenth degree, going down the cortisol pathway, then the body tries to slow you down. T3 drops, or the conversion from T4 to T3, or from thyroid hormone T3 getting into the cells. That whole system, that assembly line breaks. If you don't even get the right nutrition, it can break. If your blood sugar is running high, it can break. If you're not getting enough sleep, if you're not providing the thyroid with the right nutrition to make thyroid hormone or to get that hormone into the cells. Because you can make the hormone, but it's not getting inside to be used. And then people have these thyroid symptoms of tired, cold. People who have Hashimoto's can be hot and cold. You can have numbness on your fingertips. You can feel like you're crawling out of your skin. You can feel depressed. You can gain weight. You have issues with pooping. The thyroid is also connected to the adrenal system. It's the hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal, thyroid axis. And when you fail in ways of working out too hard, working out too late, eating one meal a day so your blood sugar's like dunk, 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 eating particular foods or drinking alcohol. There are so many things that can downregulate that thyroid hormone. A lot of people find themselves gaining weight, or they cannot lose stubborn body fat. They go get a thyroid test, comes back normal, but they have all the symptoms. A lot of people go down in calories. They look at the packages and they're counting calories and they're eating less and they're eating less, and their thyroid symptoms exacerbate and become horrific, right? Because now their hair starts falling out. Now their skin gets dry, but they can't lose the weight. So they try to fast more. It doesn't matter if you go down to 500 calories, which I've seen a lot of people lower their calories so low, and they cannot lose weight, and they begin to gain weight. So was that calories or is that hormones? That is obviously your hormones. I get these young guys on my channel, they have these emotional meltdowns in my comment section because I make strong statements. If it didn't bother them, they wouldn't comment, but they do. And it's sad because people are confused. Someone wrote on my channel, "You are not a doctor, period." And I'm like, thank God. Woo! I missed that bullet. Yeah, doctors don't get any nutritional education whatsoever. And they learn one discipline and not all disciplines. It's very amazing. Amazeballs, not sweaty balls, but really amazeballs that have had the opportunity to work with thousands of people over the years. And that's how I learn, from people. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see the red thread through all of these symptoms when people do a carnivore diet or a ketogenic diet, or when they do different types of fasting. You see what happens. Then they come to me and they start telling me, and then you start connecting dots. It's not hard, but it's very easy to be a computer troll and get triggered that a person like myself can make such bold statements like calories don't matter. I've used this analogy a bazillion times. You can take 500 calories from pork belly and 500 calories from Skittles or candy. Which one is going to make you gain weight over time if you ate it every day? Clearly, it's going to be the Skittles, because Skittles require so much insulin. That pork belly does not. It does not. Every time you eat, you're going to have a spike in insulin, but then it drops after the second hour. When you're eating something beyond 5 grams of carbohydrates or 2 grams of sugar, when you go beyond that, day in and day out, that primal body does not know how to regulate and keep the body in homeostasis, in a balance. Insulin, insulin, insulin. Now insulin is not working so well anymore. Now leptin within the fat cells is not working so well anymore. Then we have glucagon, and I see this with so many people who are hypoglycemic. They can't get the glucagon. Like insulin, just bolus amounts of insulin is secreted when you have that sugar, and your blood sugar goes high, and then it freaking crashes, and then it can't get back to baseline. And if you keep doing that, that becomes a stress to the body. So then that thyroid, right? HPA, adrenal, then thyroid, axis, the body. And if you're trying to, pay bills and go to the gym and take care of children or whatever someone does that is laborious, you need energy. And if you have glucagon and insulin that don't work together anymore, then other hormones become problematic. Your body wants to store. It thinks you're running from a lion. It thinks that maybe there's famine around the corner. So the less you eat, the more you store. And then people plateau. I remember when the HCG diet was so freaking popular. A lot of people would buy into this concept of eating 500 calories a day while taking prenatal vitamins. And at first it worked. And then everybody's like, it's amazing. It's amazing. But the more they tried it, the more they could not lose the weight. Like they did it one time, then they did it another time. By the third time, they're just packing on the weight. Because people are not thinking about regulatory hormones like insulin, glucagon, estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, cortisol, thyroid. They don't think about these hormones. And not that many people included in their hyping of, let's say, fasting or HIIT training. In the past, when I was in Los Angeles, there were so many people doing competitions, and they would do things like the HCG diet, and then they would go and do fasted cardio, and they look like zombies. Their energy was completely tanky because they were in the constant fight or flight zone. They did burn body fat in the beginning, but the more they tried this diet, the slower their performance of hormones and systems would function properly. In particular, you see women doing fitness competitions, and they're going down to 500 calories a day, and they get shredded. But they also take other exogenous things to have muscle in these competitions, which the average person does not understand the fitness industry. How many people are taking PEDs? That's performance, enhancements, pharmaceutical interventions. And so it is so easy to become bamboozled, especially if you're young, because you have not been on the planet long enough to understand how easy it is to destroy your hormones. I'll leave you guys with this. When you fast, your body needs energy. And if you don't, because energy is fuel, if you don't give it energy, in most people, if not all, your body will experience gluconeogenesis, which is the breakdown of amino acids to fuel the brain. That's why when you eat too much protein, your blood sugar spikes, because eating protein is it's very easy to convert into glucose for quick energy, but it's kind of like eating a strawberry. It's not enough to store glycogen. And then we have this whole, community of people who are so afraid of eating a lot of fat because they're gaining weight, but they're not factoring in their hormones. It's not the calories in the fat, it's the way the hormones utilize everything. If you have fat, are you breaking down fat? You have enzymes that break down fat. And then you've got hormones that help balance things out. If you eat fat, in theory, you should not secrete bolus amounts of insulin. So you don't have this crash like you do with carbs. So if you have a insulin bump and it goes down back up, that means you're not going down the cortisol pathway. And this gives these systems a chance to freaking relax. Cortisol is a fight or flight hormone. It's also a wake-up hormone, but it will break down your tissue and break down your body if you're constantly putting too much pressure on your systems. Your reproductive systems, your thyroid, your adrenal. These systems are very volatile. Our bodies do not understand that we live in the modern time. There's food right there. Your body doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you read a bill or get one of these troll comments. You have a visceral response. And if you're responding like this all the time to perceived negativity, then your body's in a chronic state of stress. All regulated by the master control center, hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal. So adrenals, so the part of the brain is controlling the systems that pump out hormones. If you've got good GLUT4 receptor development and you rest like a god and you eat the most amazing, healthy, high quality foods and you know how to detox from emotional stress and you exercise and you know how to get these heavy metals and toxins out of you and you follow a circadian rhythm, that's hard to do these days. Unless you're living in the jungle somewhere, it's very hard not to be exposed to modern stresses. So you have to really work hard to find balance. Everyone, including myself, has to deal with hormones. Sleep, wake, energy, anything that's to take care of our systems to create a balance. That is where the calorie counting fanatics really get triggered when I say calories don't matter. If your hormones are not balanced and you go down in calories, you're going to burn muscle and you're going to put a lot of pressure on your systems. And if you eat a lot of calories, more than what your body can utilize, then your body's going to use it for further energy. But if you've got GLUT4 receptors, you do all these things, like you balance your systems and then you put pressure on your body because you're an athlete, but then you back off and there's ebbs and flows and you back off, and right before the body becomes too cortisol driven, it relaxes. These are the people that can eat more amounts of food, higher amounts of food, and not gain weight, right? They've got GLUT4 receptor development, they exercise, they breathe, they can balance their lives, they can balance their emotions, but that's a rare bird. Calories don't matter. Focus on your hormones, and if you're getting triggered, you might have issues balancing your systems. If you want to learn more, go to stephanieperson.com. You can also book a consultation. I have a course membership that's $15 a month. If you're pleasing people all of the time, you can't be happy. You can never please everyone. And I'm definitely one of these types that's not looking for the validation from the masses. I've gotten a lot of new people coming to this channel. What you guys don't understand is YouTube, they make you do stuff that sucks. And I pushed back for years. I didn't clickbait, I didn't do thumbnails, I didn't do any of that. If you don't do it, they won't share your content. They won't. Trust me. For years, go back to my videos. When everybody was pushing, I was just focusing on information. If you see me have a ridiculous thumbnail and clickbaity titles, I'm rolling my eyes too. It is what it motherfrackin' is at this time in life. And I'm very stoked that I'm 56 and I don't have to grow up in this nonsense that people are growing up in. I still got energy and I'm excited for life. And stay strong and focused and don't let people get you off of your focus. Peace.